At one time, the world was filled with magic. Ancient man saw magic in every aspect of his daily life. Everything was infused with sacred significance. The rising of the sun and moon, the wind that brings the rain, every rock, tree, river, and mountain was imbued with spirit. In those early days, religion and magic were inseparable. Magic was the way that man could interact with the gods and try to control an uncontrollable universe. The origins of magic were derived from necessity and desire. The necessity to live another day and the desire to better understand the mysteries of the world. Now today, magic is generally condemned by most major religions. The King James Version of the Bible has the famous translation, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." And that's from Exodus chapter 22, verse 18. And Saul is rebuked by God for seeking advice from a diviner who could contact spirits. In the New Testament and later theology, it is thought that all seeming magic is actually powered by demons, making it even more scary and unacceptable and taboo, verboten. Thus, magic was seen as taboo throughout much of the Middle Ages. Modern Abrahamic theology claims that the age of miracles has passed, and magic is now ineffective. The Catholics in particular call this the age of dispensation, that there is no more dispensation, there is no more communication from God, from Source, from the Holy Spirit. Because of this, it is unnecessary to hunt down witches, because there are no longer any true ones. Judaism has mostly lost its taste for killing magicians. The Jewish people have depended on tolerance of their host societies, and suggesting that undesirable people be driven away could upset the balance and end in their own persecution. Evangelical Christians, however, still see the practice of magic and New Age philosophies as the work of the devil and demons. Many churches, in fact, advocate a return to the old ways of stoning or burning anyone who practices magic. Of course, this definition could include anything and everything that a church deems unchristian, including teaching evolution or reading Harry Potter books. So, it is part of my foundation, as part of my origins, the Catholic faith. I was raised in a Catholic faith. I was put in Catholic school at a very early age. Went to Catholic school from first grade to sixth grade. I've shared some of my experiences thus far in Catholic school, where I won the prayer writing contest while I was in first grade, and I competed against kids in first all the way up to sixth grade at the St. Aloysius Catholic School prayer writing contest. And my prayer that I wrote while I was in first grade actually won. So, along with that experience, though, I was a very rambunctious student. I was constantly getting in trouble, constantly in the principal's office. I was actually kicked out of St. Aloysius twice. I had some serious issues with authority, while being, in my estimation, a star pupil as far as spirituality, because I did have the Irish Catholic priest tell me at that time that I was destined to be a priest. Well, fast forward many years after getting kicked out of Catholic school and many experiences, I wasn't quite a priest, although I do feel like I have, at this point in my life, ever since August of 2021, have committed myself to the path of sharing spiritual knowledge. And I must say this, if it had not been for, I'm infinitely thankful to the foundation that my parents provided for me by putting me in Catholic school. Because I honestly believe that those 6 years of discipline as a young person, from those formative ages, formative years, served me well as a foundation throughout my life. I don't know what you would call, did I have a reprobate soul? Was I just a natural sort of a wrongdoer, rule breaker, troublemaker? Maybe it was all that rock and roll and heavy metal music that I was exposed to. Led Zeppelin, thank you, Motley Crue. But anyway, if it had not been for the foundation of Catholic school and being exposed to the framework of the Judeo-Christian framework, and I do want to take the time, because I do have a record possibly of saying negative words towards organized religion and such, but had it not been for those formative years in Catholic school, I believe I perhaps maybe would have been a lot worse off in my life than I had thought previously. But that foundation of the Catholic training and all of that, I believe, and the Bible, being exposed to the Bible daily, having to go to church daily before school, but I believe that foundation of that Bible magic served me well. Now, I want to also share this as testimony about another type of spiritual discipline, another religion, which is found within the Hindu way of doing things, such as, if you're familiar with the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, any of these sciences from that part of the world. And I want to tell you that it is my testimony. I testify right now, as well as the foundations of Bible Magick that I was exposed to in Catholic school. Well, I was exposed to other types of disciplines and spiritual technologies, specifically while I was in university and studying college. My professor, Dr. Milton Foley, who was professor of Irish literature, Shakespeare literature, and just English literature in general, was a devout student of Paramahansa Yogananda. So while I was in college, I was exposed to this Kriya Yoga, and thus given the further context of the Hindu spiritual technologies and sciences. And it was specifically, I'm going to tell you, there was a whole series of events that started taking place in 2021 for me, which began in August of 2021, which I describe as a download, a massive download, which also can be understood as receiving the energies of the fourth ray, where my heart chakra was being activated, and it was creating many changes and reverberations throughout my existence, to culminate on September 24th of 2021 in a Kundalini activation, and thus a dramatic 180-degree complete reversal of how I had been living my life into a new direction of my life. But I'm going to tell you, it is my testimony. I testify right now that it was a video that I found on YouTube by Sadhguru. It was an 11-hour and 11-minute and 11-second video of a mantra, and I'm going to leave the mantra in this video information, and I'm going to tell you that it was working with that mantra that directly led, the entire 11 hours throughout the day, throughout the night, I was enraptured with it. And I'm going to tell you, in the description of that mantra, it said this mantra is specifically for dissolving your third dimensional harmonic universe number one personality construct, and infusing it with divine energies. And I'm telling you, it completely did that. It melted all of my illusions, all of the entrapments and snares that I was in my life at that time, which I was living very dangerously. And it had not been for this change, reversal, I don't know where I'd be right now. So thank Sadhguru and thank the priests and nuns of Catholic school. But the science of religion and the science of mantra, I'm infinitely thankful for. So I share this information with that, and complete, transparency and honesty, and advocating for this discipline of mantra. And like I said, I'll leave the information on the exact mantra, and if you're not familiar with that, please understand that God speaks many different languages. God's source transcends any separation. The creator of all that is supreme, and it doesn't mean you're going to hell if you're a Christian and you're still kind of caught up in religious trauma syndrome and the gaslighting of you're going to go to hell, and those Hindus and child sacrificing and all that. Well, no, listen to me. I'm here to testify that for lasting systemic change, you must change your mental habits. You must change and dissolve your human habits and begin to download and bring in divine habits. And chanting mantra is an invaluable aid. I can testify. It develops the awareness, it develops focus, discipline, and the inner power necessary to implement change. I'm talking about lasting change, from the root of your thoughts to the samsaras that you're caught up in, to the illusions of the Maya of this world, of the digital matrix, to the words and actions you express. The space between awareness and action is where transformation takes place. You have this knowledge. You have an inkling of an intuition that's leading you in a particular direction. Act on it. You must seize the day. This is where transformation takes place. I can testify. You just have to start believing that it is possible to change habits, beliefs, and situations. Whatever you're caught up in right now, I promise you, the power of the science, the spiritual technologies that I am sharing with you, the God force, the mantras, I'm telling you, this has worked magic and miracles in my life. It completely took me from this horrible direction I was headed into, which was oblivion, and completely changed me into valuing the simple, just being alive and being able to share information and be part of this grand dimensional shift that is taking place. And so it is possible, I'm telling you, to change your habits, your beliefs, your life situations, and create intensely different results, positive results in your life. And yes, so just to kind of backtrack a little bit and, just basically, testify that the power of Bible magic, simply reading certain scriptures and vocalizing them, that's the important thing. Having this awareness and acting upon it. Don't feel that you're going to hell because you're taking your own power into your hands. Because many so-called good Christians would be horrified to know that many common Christian rituals would be considered magic by their overly broad definitions. In fact, the Bible has been used for magical purposes for centuries by people who would never consider themselves as practitioners of magic, as practitioners of bringing forth the God force. And that is really what this is all about, is bringing forth your divine power and implementing it with your intentions into this reality, and thus raising your vibrations to harmonic universe number 2 and the new earth. Namaste. Namaskaram.